fucking with the ghost.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of No Antidote Needed. Today's episode, I forgot to say it, the podcast where there is no script, no tests, no anything, just straight up a conversation. Today we're with my homie, I call you a day one even though you're from 6th grade, but he's been my homie forever. This is Nathan, and today is going to be, I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited too.
It's an interesting conversation. So, how is it going, my good sir?
It's going pretty all right. You know, it could always be worse.
I like that perspective.
That's how you got to look at it sometimes. Is just you got to count your blessings too.
It's true. So, I know the main thing that we scheduled this for, honestly, is having you come over for the sake of you working on this project thing. And I still don't know a lot about it. So, could you fill me in on what goes on basically?
Yeah. So this is a really simple project to do. Anybody can do it. Basic hand tools, and if you know anybody that's mechanically inclined, then they could probably help you out. There's all kinds of videos on YouTube you could search up, or Pinterest.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes they'll post instructions on how to do it.
Yeah.
So really all you need is a handsaw, a pallet, wood glue, mason jar, a little bit of chain to hang it from, and a hook.
Huh.
So really basic stuff that, you know, your dad would have.
Yeah,
He's
true.
sitting in his toolbox or in his garage.
That's a good point. What's the result?
The result is basically a hanging platform made out of pallet wood that you can put Christmas decorations inside of.
Dude, heck yeah.
So something really simple to use and can fit in anywhere if you have a rustic sort of house that'll still fit perfectly, or if you want a little bit of, I don't know, like Southern hospitality kind of feel.
Yeah.
You can put that in there too.
So have you been doing this as like a side business, or are you more or less just like giving it to people?
This is more just kind of Christmas gifts. This year I decided, well, not a lot of people make anything by hand anymore, and people can appreciate that.
That's true.
And if you give something to someone that you really put your heart and soul into, it makes it that much more worth it.
So true.
To see them smile when you give it to them.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, because I was just talking to my friend Rain about this, because we were talking about how like gifts are not meant about like how much you spend on it. It's like what it means. So like if I give you like $1,000 watch you don't even care about, it's like cool. But if I get you like a $5 watch that you've been like eyeballing, it's like, oh my gosh, dude, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And being doing woodworking. Woodworking is one of the easiest to get into, least amount of tools, and there's all kinds of stuff you can make. I showed you that one project I'm making for my aunt, and then I've got those 2 teacup holders that are in the shape of hearts for Savannah and Autumn.
Heck yeah.
And those are all almost like 20-minute crafts. 20-minute crafts you can do in your garage, and something simple.
And they're heartfelt. That's the thing too. I think about that a lot, like crafting something, what's the word? Out of obligation versus like actual heart and just wanting to do it. There's such a big difference, I feel. Like, I feel like if you put heart into it and you put like time and like you take your time on stuff, it becomes more valuable because it ages well.
Oh, sentimental.
Yeah, exactly.
Sentimental value.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So what got you into like just doing anything like this in general?
Well, there's a guy on YouTube named Jimmy DeRista. He lives in upstate New York. He builds all kinds of cool things. I've gotten so many ideas from. I've got a whole book in my garage.
Holy crap.
Full of stuff that I want to build, but I don't make that much money, so I can't really afford the tools.
Gotcha.
And he's got everything under the sun, and I just have about a quarter of my garage space to make stuff.
Huh. Is it your book or is it his?
It's just like an ideas book.
Oh, word.
So
okay.
After watching his videos, I'm thinking, well, what if I tweak that a little bit, or what if I put this color onto that?
Yeah, okay.
And whatnot. Just give it my own little twist and see how things play out.
Huh. That's cool. So you watch his stuff, have a spark of inspiration, and then go from there. I like that.
I'll just get a rough sketch and then go out and start anywhere. Just start from the beginning.
Huh.
And that's the best way to do it.
So like, are you pretty picky with like how your stuff turns out? Like, do you get pretty like
micromanagey
about it?
Oh yeah, very, very. I always I'm a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Car wise, woodworking wise, all of it.
Like you won't let yourself finish.
Yeah, if it doesn't look perfect, then I'm either restarting or I'm gonna fix it.
Just like give up or like. Is there ever been a time where you like get so far and you're like, I don't like this, I can just stop?
Yeah,
Oh
I've
my
had that
gosh.
happen before. I was actually trying to make a handle for a screwdriver
Yeah.
because it's an old one from the 30s.
Uh huh.
I tried rebuilding it, or I tried carving it out and shaping it, and I just threw the handle across the garage. I was like, I can't do this anymore.
A lot of choice words spoken in that garage.
Oh yeah, lots of words.
Dude, I don't know, that's how my dad is. Like so for you guys, like the way my dad is, he's a very like, he loves cars. He's the same way as you pretty much. And he loves just like the servanthood kind of thing. Like I can tell whenever he like needs like my car done with something, like he's always offering to help. And so like, he'll be out there and like if I hear like a loud noise, like I used to freak out, but like now, dude, it's like half the time he's just raging because he's so frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
Because he gets so invested. That's the thing too. Like do you get like emotionally invested so much so that you get that mad?
Oh yeah, especially in cars. When I was having to replace the drums on my Mustang,
Oh yeah.
I got scars all over my knuckles from trying to break loose bolts and hitting stuff behind it, and that just happens when you work on cars.
It's inevitable.
It's unavoidable. If you don't get hurt while fixing something, then you didn't really fix it.
Interesting. Huh. My car, I have to bring it into my garage after we do this stuff because like, so like what happened is my brakes needed changed, but one of the calipers on the driver's side is like stuck. So it's like,
And like it's locked onto your rotor.
yeah, like it's like in there just like chilling. Like, and my dad tried to, you know how when you push it, it feels like a plunger almost? It's not doing that. It's just stiff.
That's not good.
And yeah, and so my dad also, he was getting really cussy and mad. It was hilarious. Dad, I love you, I promise. I'm not trying to expose you. But like, he got so mad too because he was noticing, my mom came in the garage, she came home from work and she goes, hey, what's up with like that leak on the ground? And it was snowing like a couple days ago, that's when he was doing it.
Yeah.
So he thought like, oh, that's fine. Like, you know, we were just literally like driving in from snow. Maybe it like melted on the car and it dripped off. He realized that was actually the wiper fluid thing.
So your wiper fluid?
Yeah, it was leaking. So the thing that holds it, which I don't know cars well, but whatever that's called, that was the one thing that was leaking. So like, and that was from the factory when the car was made. So it's lasted that long.
There's usually a reservoir where you put your windshield washer fluid in there, and then it goes out through your hood. You know.
Gotcha. Yeah, it was definitely that for sure. Because I know he said that he was frustrated because it was like my mom came out and just spoke the obvious, and he's like, no, it's just snow, and she's like, that's a weird looking kind of snow drip on the ground, like, you know. Okay, so like I gotta ask you this too, like with creating stuff, do you find a satisfaction in the idea of thinking of something, making it, and then it's complete?
Gotta explain that a little bit slower.
All right, so like, do you find a psychological like pleasure
Oh, okay.
in the knowingness of the process and like finishing something?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because whatever you make, you want to be proud of it. I mean, obviously you want to critique it, like the necklace I made for Autumn. I was like, I didn't really file down the metal in the right way, and this angle is off and all that, but in the end, that was the only thing wrong with it. Everything else was pretty much perfect.
Yeah.
And seeing her happy that she got the gift, well, that's kind of all I need.
True.
As long as they enjoy it, I can enjoy it.
Yeah. Do you feel like the minor mistakes give it more character?
Yes. That's the one thing I love about stuff that's handmade.
Yeah.
Handmade things aren't perfect.
True.
They have little minor imperfections, but it's like patina on a truck or a car. It gives it character. And it shows like someone put their heart and soul into this and trying to make it.
That's true. Do you think that's why people like certain brands of like clothing and stuff? Because it's different than the average like processed shirt that's just factory made.
Yeah, I think so.
Because like I've started to pick up on there's a streetwear brand I know of called Kith, and have you ever heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so they make box logos like Supreme.
Okay.
But it's like, it used to be a company that just sold shoes as a retail holder, but then they started to become their own brand. And so then they made box logos and they made all these like fire designs. But the thing that I love about it is like it has that creative like chink to it, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
Like it gives it the character. Like, because he'll do this thing, the creator of it, I think it's Ronnie Feig. I hope I pronounced his last name correctly. But anyway, he did like a collaboration with like Mickey Mouse. And you would think as a company, you're doing that collaboration to give your company airplay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I did a collaboration with Disney. I'm going to gain following. But like he said that most of why he did it was because simply like it just reminded him of his childhood. So like I feel like stuff like that too. Like if people put intricate designs, because that's what he did too. Is he took Mickey Mouse and he changed it, and he tweaked it, and he made it different and unique and stuff. And like I feel like that adds the character to it. And so I'm wondering if maybe that's like a part of why people like designer clothing and like stuff like that.
I mean, I understand that. I mean, I'm not really a fan of like Supreme and all like the high end brands and stuff, but you know, I respect them. It's like, you know,
Yeah.
you're making your own thing and people like it, so you can't really argue with it.
That's true. I just wonder. I wonder how it is as a company owner for people to like balance creating something and selling it well, but keeping that like characteristic aspect to it.
You want to stay true to form.
Right, exactly. Does that help? Like, what's your fine line when you create something that has like a problem? What's the difference between like an item that has? Did she just fart?
I think so.
Aggie,
I don't know. Well, that one was
That was
my
your
phone.
phone? Okay, I was about to say, I was like,
that
that
was
was
my
weird.
phone that time. I wasn't sure if she farted or not.
I think I heard that. Aggie, it's nasty, bro.
That's like right on my leg too.
She's over there snoring too, man. She's out. I think they can see her. Yeah, they can so see her. She blends in with the couch though. She's so dark, but still. No, but like, what's your like fine line between the product that you made having character versus having a mistake?
That's a tough one. I guess it's it's almost think of it like it's not perfect if it won't work. Like if like that necklace, if I filed the metal too thin near the chain holder part, I don't know about jewelry, so that part, if it was too thin and it would have broken off if it stayed on a chain for too long or it got bounced around too much, then you know that definitely warrants, you know, you need to start again, you need to make it better and more rigid.
Right.
It's almost like not quite like recalls on cars, but actually no, probably like recalls on cars, because there's something defective and you want to fix it, make it right, make it safe, and most importantly, use it.
Yeah. True.
That's kind of hard to explain though, because I mean everything I've made so far, everything has small imperfections.
Right.
The gift I made for my aunt, the inside of it where I was using the crosscut saw, it's sort of chunked out and not entirely smooth, but I can paint over it. I painted over it to give it contrast from the live edge and the inside of it.
Interesting. Now, what's your process? Do you listen to like certain music or get in kind of like a groove when you're doing things, or?
Yeah, it's, I mean, kind of a groove, but I mostly listen to music. I'll listen to just about anything under the sun, and whatever I feel like listening to out in the garage, I'll get a playlist going on YouTube and then just go at it.
You feel like Tony Stark inside of his garage, just going at it, doing your thing.
I'll go at it until I can't stop. There's been a few nights where I'll get like a wild hair up my ass. I'll go out into the garage, build some, stay up till like 2, 3 in the morning, get done and realize, okay, time to go to bed.
Yeah.
Start this in like 5 hours when I wake up.
So you don't schedule it at all. You just kind of feel it out.
I just go for it.
Dude, interesting. What made you think of giving it as gifts? Like, and especially like individual people? Like, did it start as like a recreational thing for fun, and then you ended up thinking like, yo, I could give this to other people?
I more started with, I could make this for whoever, like someone in my family. And I've actually been talking with my brother and his girlfriend, and they were kind of like talking me through things like, hey, you wanted to build this, but that's like, you can build that super cheap, and you could probably go and sell that as like just make a ton of them and sell them.
Yeah.
And well, I mean, I have a detailing business, but I don't know how well I do selling to all the middle-aged white women on Etsy.
You could. Etsy's a big market.
My brother said it's totally possible. You could sell those things dime a dozen. But
Well, and the thing is too, is I'm a big believer in like the idea that we were all created in this time frame for a purpose, so much so that we're given the accessibility to technology to use it for different purposes people couldn't about 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Like the ability that like I can make content on YouTube, like we used to never even have a website for that. Mm-hmm. There used to just be like imagine making a film back then. Like I would love to find film of like all the kids out there that made stuff that they could not post online because there was no online. Like, can you imagine all the little like edits and stuff people probably made that just didn't go anywhere because they weren't in Hollywood? Mm-hmm. You know? And so it's like stuff like that to where it's like it makes me think of us nowadays, and it's like we've got things like Etsy and like
Facebook Marketplace, Craigslist, eBay, all kinds of different. We got websites for everything.
Yeah.
Buy cars, buy furniture, buy shoes,
right.
Whatever you need. There's Amazon too.
It's sketchy.
Almost everything on
Shady
Amazon. You almost have everything on Amazon.
This podcast is definitely not sponsored by Amazon because, oh my gosh. But still, I mean, I guess, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of outlets and a lot of, it's almost too much. That's what I get worried about. I get worried that we as a society are striving for something, and then once we get it, it's like, what's next?
Yeah.
I feel like a part of Americans are just overexposed, you know?
You get done with something, it's like, well, now what?
Yeah, straight up. So, like, you don't schedule it. You just kind of go for it. Mm-hmm. Is the spark usually from watching, like, that YouTuber you talked about?
Yeah.
Okay.
That YouTuber, and sometimes I'll go on to Google and just type in DIY crafts or mason jars. Mason jars are like, it's a Swiss Army knife. You can make all kinds of stuff out of it. I've actually got a couple plans for mason jars as gifts for my family.
Like, making them?
Or not making
or
them, not like out of glass and stuff, but like decorating them and putting them in other things to give as gifts for Christmas.
I like how you said that. It's like a Swiss Army knife.
Mm-hmm. They're super versatile.
Well, we're coming toward the end.
Mm-hmm.
So is there anything you want to let people know? Any of the viewers, any of the people out there watching this?
I guess if you want to make something, go for it. Try it. There's a famous saying from a car company that I like, Dodge. Believe it or not, as much as I'm a Ford fan, their motto is hesitate and you lose.
Huh.
So don't hesitate. Carpe diem, seize the moment. You just got to go for it because you never know how it's going to turn out.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
I like that, dude. Well, heck yeah, man. Well, thanks for being on this podcast.
Thanks for having me. This is a lot of fun.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this has been Nathan. Thanks again, bro, for coming on.
Thanks a lot for having me.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure, sir. I low-key feel like we're on like Jimmy Fallon or something. Like the positioning. It's like this is the desk. And this is the...
Yeah, we just need a desk. You need a suit and all.
I need a coffee and like... Or probably my conspiracy is they have empty coffee cups and they just fake drink out of it just for stage, presence. But anyways, different conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. God bless. Take it easy. Peace out.